Welcome to IndieWhat. Once again, this is Keenan presenting the games of the indie genre to you. In this segment, we will look into the title Rogue Legacy from Cellar Door Games. Rogue Legacy is currently only available on PC for $14.99 on Steam, with plans for release on Mac and Linux operating systems. There's also a free version, RogueLite, if you want to demo the game. This can be found on the game's website, and those interested, there is a link in the details. However, this is definitely a title worth forking the money over for, and a light version would just not do it justice at all. Rogue Legacy is an action RPG platformer. It is also one of those good old roguelikes. However, the creators put some unique twists on these genres' age-old traditions. The action platformer part is pretty self-explanatory. You run and jump and swing a great big sword to vanquish your foes. You also have some spells at your disposal, however they are random from character generation. So in this aspect, it plays like any side-scrolling Castlevania or Ghosts and Goblins. So, when you first start the game, you are given a standard generic character without any interesting details. However, you won't be playing this guy for very long, because in Rogue Legacy you die. A lot. I'm almost positive I survived a whole 5 minutes of my first run-through. But after you die the first time, you'll be introduced to the game's character progression system, and this is where things really start to get interesting. During your first run around, you'll probably notice that you were level 1 and monsters did not give you experience. So how do you get stronger to survive longer? Enter your keep. When you first witness your epic abode, it's none too impressive. It's small and does nothing. Yet this is one of the places that you can spend gold that you found in the evil castle of evil. From here, you can unlock a huge assortment of things to aid you on your quest. This includes stat increases, additional classes, vendors, and more. There are so many upgrades that I haven't seen what all the unlocks are. Once you finish purchasing upgrades and pick one of the 3 new descendants, you'll find you've leveled up and might be able to make it a little further into the dungeons. Still, that's a huge might, because once again, you will die, again and again. Once you get more immersed in the game, you'll notice that the descendants you have to choose between vary in class and attributes. Some of these traits are a bit tongue-in-cheek, such as having IBS, colorblindness, fear of chickens, and many more. The classes you have to choose from are limited at first, but as you construct your keep, more become available. What class you prefer to play may not always be available, but what you become most successful with is based on your playstyle and what you feel comfortable playing as. Still, in most cases you will find that the Castle of Evil is always changing and randomly generated each time. This can affect what runes, which are attached to your gear, as well as the gear itself that drops. The enemies you'll encounter also vary. Sometimes you'll have a run that seems easy as pie, while others will leave you dead within a couple of rooms. But with enough practice and coordination, you'll be running through the majority of the dungeons with ease. But there's also a function given to the player by a mad alchemist to lock the castle. This way you can run the same course that a previous descendant was on. This helps with pushing for progression, but all the chests you found will have already been opened, meaning that the amount of gold you collected the first time will be severely reduced. Also, all the enemies will have respawned. Overall, Rogue Legacy is a very pleasant experience with a good amount of humor that any retro-style gamer will enjoy. What it truly lacks is a very immersive story, but is enjoyable enough where it can be overlooked. Most of the details of the story can be found in journal entries left by a prince who entered the castle before. Also, there's enough quirkiness involved in the game, and it's fast-paced enough that the simple story really becomes a non-issue as you slam yourself time and time again into the enemies of the castle. You are always pushing for that one more upgrade or to make it to that next boss. So, with all that, Rogue Legacy contains a good amount of humor for those who laugh easily. It presents a good amount of challenge, especially with New Game Plus, but still has a high level of replayability. The 16-bit graphics could be considered out of date for some, but the other parts of the game definitely make up for that. And though a complex and driven story is missing, you'll want to keep playing this one for hours. This leads me to give this game an overall rating of 3.5 out of 5. And is definitely a must for any fan of platform RPGs or those who have a good sense of nostalgia. Thanks for watching this episode of IndieWhat. It's platform central on this segment, as I will be reviewing the platformer Deadlight by Tequila Works on the next one. But keep a lookout for an all-new segment on SkipCinematic coming out next week as we branch into different genres and more games. So until next time, this is Keenan saying it's been real, and I'm out. I don't